Hi out there in YouTube land. Well, I'm gonna go back here and sit on my chair. My big, oh man, that feels pretty good. That's that milk can chair I made. Might have to put some footrest on it though. It feels a little like it needs it. First of all, I almost forgot. First of all, happy Independence Day to everybody. I know by now it's probably late in the day. Some people saw some fireworks last night. Some people will see some tonight. We keep getting rain here. The town had some last night, but I don't know whether they shot them off or not. We had a gully washer come through here at about the time that got started. We've had rain here at the house for the last 5 days. Most of the times it didn't amount to anything except for being annoying if you're outside in it. It didn't amount to enough to, you still had to water your plants. That's how little it was. But if you went out, it'd start raining, you come in, it'd stop, then you go out. I was last night, finally decided to go out and work on next to the boiler barn, clearing that stuff out. And so I wanted to get the wood lathe out of there. Well, in process of getting the wood lathe out there, the sun was out. So I just started and I got a pallet and I got it in there, and my neighbor came up and he was over here getting a few things. I said, while you're here, and he gave me a hand getting that thing up on a pallet. One person could roll it back and then put it up on a pallet, and the two of us could move it around. It was a right heavy piece, and I strapped it down and moved it over. And no sooner, now the sun was out when I started and we weren't into it, well, he'd already gone, so probably into it 10-15 minutes. And so I was putting it over the other shed. I'll take it down there real quick just so you can see where I am starting to get some of that out. There's a bunch of sawdust on the camera. I've got that out, but now I got to dig that hole down in there down 4 inches, because I just don't want to lose any more height than I already have. So the top of the cement should be where that is now. So I got this pretty well emptied out. But I went in there, got it up there, picked it up. I came over here, I set it down, and as I was setting it down, it started raining. Here's how I got it on a pallet, just so I can move it, because it's going to go back in there after I get the cement. Anyhow, all broke loose. I mean to tell you, I was soaked to the bone, as all I did was come up here and drive to the back and drop the Bobcat off and then drive the Kubota up into here, and I was soaked completely through. That's how hard it was raining. Got about a half inch of rain in probably just my trip. And then a little while ago I wanted to come out and it was raining, so I went back in. So I have not put a movie out. I have not made a movie. I got those wood split movies in quite a while. So I'm working on that motor. You remember that motor? I took it all apart and it was full of all sorts of nonsense. I'm also still working on this. Yeah, I'm not too fast. But what I've decided to do is I want to mount that about there. I'm going to take and saw these off in some strips and put it on here so it kind of encaptures that. Now I'm thinking I'm going to make it short, so if anything does get in there, it'll just float out, or if water happens to get in there for some reason, it'll float out or whatever. If the battery was hooked up, have to see if it runs after all that dilemma. I think it would. It hadn't started since, it probably hadn't started in a week. There's positive all the way over there. I'm not going to tighten these down. We'll just see if it'll start. I'm going to do the same thing with the battery here. Put a little wood frame around it and then put a bungee cord or something strapping it on. Well, the question is, do we make it? Let's see. Maybe not. Uh-oh. Took a minute to get the gas up. We're charging, and we're right about where we should be. So we're doing good there. I don't think it'll backfire. Usually when it's cold, it doesn't backfire. It's only when it's hot. And it's because you're shutting it down at high speed. Somebody said, why don't you change the idle around? The idle, or the RPM on that thing is set at the factory so it puts out 60 hertz. That's why you don't want to be messing with that. It would be nice if you had a start position or run position, which you could get in there and start playing with all that, but I kind of just don't think I want to do that. Just let sleeping dogs lie, I guess, or whatever. Anyhow, so that's kind of what I'm doing on that. I hope to finish that if the rain holds off. It's about dinner time. Let's see. So I went through my boxes of junk wire ends, and I found a wire end. This is what they call, what the problem was, or what I think the problem was now, is if you see this, is this capacitor's missing its little things on there. I guess I put you on the stand a minute too early. There's my that bench. It's not wet, it's just polyurethane. One of these was broke off, and one of these was like that, and there's a bee. To be or not to be, get out of here, a little sweat bee or something. Here's a capacitor they sent, which is supposed to be the same thing, 378 to 454 microfarads, is that what it is? And this one 357 to 450. That little bit shouldn't make any difference. There's the wire ends I think I'm going to probably use, because that's what was on there. Actually, that wire end is still there. I might have to doctor with it, because if I don't have to screw with it, but that looks pretty nasty. Yeah, nasty's my middle name. Yeah, this is the part off the capacitor over there. I can't do it with one hand. This is my soldering toolbox. Everything, just about everything you could ever think you might need might be in there, except for the thing you do actually need. Somehow it knows. Anyhow, so go watch that and see if I can't get that motor running. I don't know how long it's going to take me to solder that nonsense on, or cut it off, or do whatever I'm going to do. I'm going to pull that one piece off first and see if it it'll come off. 2 pairs of pliers. Okay, we'll get 2 pairs of pliers if it wants to be that. I know there's another pair in here. I will use these. Probably should just change it. Yep. Like I said, you kind of know what you got going there. You can't see it. It annihilated it when it came off. So what we'll do is we'll snip this one back 1/4 of an inch to hopefully get behind the crap, and snip that one back 1/4 of an inch to hopefully get behind the crap. Okay, where's my wire, my strippers? Here we go. These were my dad's strippers. They're been around for a while. I don't think solder's going to take to that wire, to be honest with you. That wire is burned up, and solder don't like to stick to burned up wire. I can tell you that right now. Whew. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Let's see what I got in here to cure that problem. Absolutely nothing, just about. There should be, here it is. Like I said, I got about everything in here you can imagine. See this thing here? Johnson & Johnson, a person I used to know many years ago. I don't know if I can say her name or not. This is back in the 70s. We worked for Supergiant, and she stopped working for Supergiant, became a salesman and or saleswoman, I don't know, whatever you want to call a salesman, for Johnson & Johnson. And that was what she used to open boxes with. And I said, man, those things would be handy. And she gave me about 3 of them. And you know, I still have them. There might be another one even in here. Pretty handy. They hold a little razor blade in there, and to change them, you just pull it out and flip it around one time, and then I've had those since the 70s. You know me, I'm a pack rat. Well, that, I can see a little copper there now. So we're going to do that. We're going to put that down. We're going to plug the soldering gun in. I have a soldering iron someplace. I don't know where it is. Because when I do stuff like this, sometimes it takes a little while for these to heat up. Because you can't, it just plugged in, but it doesn't come on until you pull the trigger. I was going to do something else. Oh, I got a little bit of, I don't know what this stuff is, some kind of flux. I think it's probably acid core flux for pipes is what I think it is. But I think I'll try to tin those a little bit. We'll leave that out. I gotta go get a towel. I need to get a roll of rosin core solder. I ordered some off the internet, and I screwed up when I ordered because I'm not real smart. So I ordered this. Oh, here's a nice roll of solder. Well, it came in, and this is rosin core, supposedly. I don't know what it is. I know where it came from. Anyhow, you can't see how thin that is. That's like thinner than thread. So I pull out a couple pieces like that, bust it off, roll it up, fold it in half again, and then I finally got a decent sized piece of, and then you can just spin it at that point. So it works good. Till I get it used up, I'll probably use it. I don't do a whole lot of soldering. Well, maybe I do more than I think. I don't know. Probably do more than maybe others. Who knows? Alright, let's see if we can't get some solder to stick on this thing. Also got my little wood block. A lot of times I'll put it down like that. That is a piece of black walnut. I don't know if it's in the camera or not, but come on, get hot. You got to tighten these little Allens up, or Allen sets. There's a bug. He didn't like the heat. He got out of the fire quick, didn't he? These things, when they get hot, there it's getting hot. Yeah, ain't nothing going to stick to that wire. If I get it hot enough, it might. But we ain't even close to hot enough. We'll do it this way. Yeah, I got a feeling I have a problem here. Hey, I told you that solder wouldn't stick to that wire. It was just, if you do much soldering, leave a comment below if you do solder and you got burned up wire, how you get the solder to stick to the wire. Be interested. We're going to put a little more flux on it, capacitor. I don't think that's going to make a whole lot of difference. I think the best thing to do is probably just put this on there and clamp it. There's a clamper for that. I got too much stuff here. Where'd that clamper go? Well, we'll be using this one today. Well, I didn't want to use that one. There's another one that's got rounded edges on it. I had it here a split second ago. I can lose stuff faster than the average bear. There it is. See how they got a little round thing in there? That stuff's tougher than I thought. Oh, I'll take this one here and do a crimp on it. I'll do a crimp there. It's actually pretty tight, but it ain't good enough. It needs solder. I think it probably needs the heat of the flame, but I did get that wrong on. Can't think what I was starting to say. They could be a little longer. I think I'll do that, make it just a tad longer. This one here seems to be about an RCH shorter. There, that's a little bit better. But I still don't have any clean copper down in there. Like a cop on the take, huh? Dirty copper. Oops. And these are, like I said, motor things. They come out of there? Sure did. I might have to put a real good crimpet on there. I think. No, let me. You know, I don't think I got a crimping thing in here. I think they're all in the other box. Hold on again. You got. I'll be right back. I got a million of these. They usually sit in there. These are not meant for this, and I don't think they even touched it. They didn't even. The center one, those are meant for this is the wrong crimping tool, but they're tight. Now if we put some more glue on there, maybe the glue and the solder will adhere to the whatever this metal is. It's not very thick. I wanted brass ones. I had the brass, which is kind of preferred chemical. We got pretty good holding it down power this time. And these things never heat up. I guess you guys are watching some more paint dry, aren't you? Come on, thing. Let's get cracking here. I don't want to be here. Okay, YouTube people. We got things to do here, people. Solder gun. Oh, I did get the air conditioner going today in the house. I had a request for it, but it was getting pretty. So much rain, the humidity was just getting astronomical. The house inside humidity was 72%, which is pretty sticky. This is not even sticking to the other stuff. Just barely melting. There, it's starting to melt now a little. Ouch, that wire's warm. There's that bee back. Come on, solder. Get out of here, bee. I got enough solder on there. Usually it'll melt down by now, but it ain't doing too good of melting. That's about a nasty looking solder job. And I don't know if the solder really's doing anything, to be honest with you. More a mental thing. So, who cares at this point? Let's whip that around. We got it crimped. We got it. Ouch. I know that booger's hot though. Ooh, lost my thing. Now this one's boiling better. I think the solder gun got hotter on this one. It's just being it's just being ignorant. I tell you that right now. Mites are getting me too. I haven't been outside much. Like I said, this is the first video I've done in probably a week. The mites around here are just eating me alive. I probably have about 30 bites on me right now. I feel like I'm getting another one. I am covered with bites, and I have put so much different chemicals on my clothes. I guess that looks pretty nasty. But it either will or it won't. I ain't going any further. Get that slime off of it. It's connected. Ouch. And it's still hot too. Speaking of hot. That didn't go on very good. There it goes. Alright, now theoretically, if I plug this in, that motor should go. Will you guys come plug it in for me? No, I got a switch. I forgot. And the plug just fell on the floor. Well, if I don't get electrocuted, let's see what we got here. You ready? Look at that thing run. We are in downtown. Guys, I think we got it. We're going to unplug that. We're going to turn the switch on just in case there's any juice in that little booger. The top is right here. It's got a cardboard there, so it shouldn't go up and hit. I wouldn't mind if it had a little more. Oh, it's got a pad in there too. Here's some interesting stuff. We'll put some of this. This is some real thick tape. Don't know what it is exactly, but seeing as that thing is smaller than it originally was, ain't got much sticky to this. Probably didn't get a long enough piece, did I? Nah. I kind of like that a little bit better. What color should we use? We got the first one on top of the list was that normally has sticky on it. It's real thick stuff. It's like a rubberized tape. I have a ton of that. Yeah, that was a throwaway. How'd you guys know that I picked up on a throwaway? When I used to go get telephone poles at Potomac Edison, I used to dive into their dumpsters and get stuff they would discard, and that's how I got that, I believe. I've had it for so many years I don't even know. I got some other stuff that's really neat. I don't think there's any of that in here. It's some wire mesh. And okay, where did I do? Oh, here it is. Guess I gotta undo one of these. Undo one of these, loosen this one, get that wire under there so it's properly secured. Put that in there. Fine. You know what I don't have in here is all this is real small screwdrivers. This really needs a nut driver. I don't think there's any nut drivers in there. I got a bunch. I got 2 or 3 sets of nut drivers, but they're in there in the box, so it's only a hair away if I need it. That one's stripped out. That's what I'm not doing. Throw all this junk back in here. We are coming along. Put that in there, that in there, that in there. Put the lid on that, put that on there. The lid doesn't want to go on there. I gotta get some more. I gotta get some real solder. This is now trash. I actually don't believe I threw that away, but I must have. That's the cap that it is, if you wanted to know. Oh, I didn't wrap this up. Too hot to wrap up. We'll plug it in again now that we got it all back together. Here we go. So that gets, I'll put this over here for now. It's got a wasted screwdriver underneath there. Where are we at time-wise? How much time have I wasted on you guys tonight? I think we've wasted enough. I'm gonna mount it on its piece and do some other things. Probably go eat dinner. This gets that thing gets mounted on here, but this motor mount doesn't look good. So I'm gonna go look for another motor mount. Look for another one of those things. Probably shouldn't, but I will. So that's where we're at. This goes in here like, daggone, I hit it. You know, that doesn't look far enough off that I'm going to mess with it, to be honest with you. It's a little bit, oh, didn't pay the light bill, did I? I think that'll be good. If I hit that with a hammer, because this thing is bent, if I hit that with a hammer, it'd be fine. Come up like that, then it has these little hoodoogies that if anybody does motors knows what they are. Alright, we have about done it. Once again, everybody out there, go blow up something because it's Independence Day and you are independent now, so you can independently go blow something up, preferably not your neighbor's house. I might get my cannon out later and take a shot of a cannon. I don't know whether you guys have ever seen the cannon. Independence Day, we used to have great big celebrations here, and we were into it 40 shots of the cannon, the little cannon, and new neighbors called the police, and then we stopped doing 4th of July or Independence Day celebrations. So anyhow, we'll see you. Happy Independence Day. Bye-bye now.